1 million square meters of space for cultural, recreational, and sports activities were built. Around 400,000 kilometers of underground pipelines were renovated. More than 40,000 pocket parks and 120,000 kilometers of urban greenways were built. These small projects can solve people's most pressing and urgent needs and can make the people more fulfilled and happier, therefore received wide acclaim from the people. The government work report mentioned steady progress in urban renewal schemes, and our implementation measures mainly fall into the following two aspects. First, we will do physical examinations for the cities to identify the problems. Cities are like living organisms, like us humans. People need to do regular body checkups to stay healthy, and so do cities. Through these checkups, we can identify causes to the problems and make targeted prescriptions based on the diagnosis. After some exploration in the pilot period, the principle of checkup first, renewal later, and no checkup, no renewal has become a common principle in our work. So how to carry out these physical examinations for cities? Two principles are important. The first is to be problem-oriented. From houses, neighborhoods, to communities and districts, we need to look for urgent and pressing issues that concern people the most. For example, parking, charging, shortages in elderly care facilities, and children's playgrounds. The other important thing to remember is to be objectives-oriented. We need to look for shortfalls that affect cities' competitiveness, carrying capacity, and sustainability. For example, the problem of cultural homogeneity, unbalanced supply of public services, underdeveloped infrastructure connectivity, and insufficient application of sci-tech innovation in urban construction and management. Problems found in this process are to be resolved through urban renewal schemes. So far, 297 cities above the prefecture level have undergone full physical examination. We will support county-level cities with adequate conditions to follow suit. Another aspect of our work is to carry out projects to actually solve these problems. We will work hard to deliver a series of urban renewal projects to benefit the people, stimulate growth, and prevent risks, which falls into three categories. The first is livelihood projects. Following plans laid out in the government work report, our work will focus on the following three things. First is to include all residential compounds built before the end of the year 2000 in the renovation plan and renovate them in line with local realities. We encourage subnational regions to explore ways for residents to renovate their own old residence. Second is to redevelop urban villages. This scheme has already been expanded to include cities above the prefecture level. The scope will continue to expand, building on last year's progress of 1 million homes. The third is to advance the building of complete communities, with a special focus on facilitating lives for the elderly and the minors, including building accessible and senior-friendly facilities, and increasing child care facilities and children's play areas. The second category of projects is growth projects. That includes, first, to renovate a series of old industrial zones and old factories, and bring in new business forms and functions like research and development, creative industries, and AI, so as to promote industrial transformation and develop new quality productive forces in line with local realities. Second, to revitalize a series of old districts and turn them into streets with boutique stores, attractive plazas, and other forms of inviting spaces for young people to start up businesses and explore ideas, and to create more consumption opportunities for citizens. Third is to protect and renovate a series of historical and cultural districts and buildings, bring them back to life, and integrate cultural heritage to the burgeoning early urban life and development. The third category involves safety projects. The government work report mentioned the building of livable, resilient, and smart cities. All of these three traits requires safety as the basis. In this aspect, this year we will focus on the following. First, upgrade more than 150,000 kilometers of underground pipelines and ensure the city's sound operation. Second is to advance the building of water storage facilities, drainage network, and water pumps. We'll focus on reducing the risk of waterlogging at highly vulnerable places and complete another 1,000 drainage and waterlogging prevention projects. Third is to develop digital and smart infrastructure, with a focus on improving the safety and security of cities' lifeline projects. We'll work to ensure that this initiative covers all urban lifelines like gas, water, and drainage systems in cities above prefecture level, which will make the cities safer and more resilient. None of these urban renewal tasks are easy. We know that when installing elevators, it's difficult to get everyone on board. When building new parking spaces, it's hard to find the right spot. And construction work would often cause inconvenience for local residents. But to solve these issues, we are lucky that we have our fine traditional values of amity, good neighborliness, and mutual assistance. We need to carry forward these fine traditions and work together to contribute to the contribution, offer our support for the common cause, and work together to deliver on each and every one of these projects. Thank you.
请中区第4排第1位女士。是的。
您好，我是澳门日报记者。我的问题想提给雷主任。过去1年，我国经济实力、科技实力、综合国力持续增强，现代化最重要的指标还是人民健康。请问当前我国居民健康水平如何？在普及居民健康生活方式上，需要重点关注什么？今年将就此开展哪些工作？谢谢。
Macau Daily. My question is for Minister Lei. The past year saw continued growth in China's economic strength, scientific and technological capabilities, and composite national strength. The people's health is the most important hallmark of modernization. How do you evaluate the overall health condition of the Chinese population? What are the priorities for promoting healthy lifestyles? What measures will be rolled out in 2025?
Thank you for this question. The CPC Central Committee and State Council place great emphasis on people's health. This is on top of the agenda of the new era. We have introduced Health First strategy and is implementing the Healthy China initiative. We have carried out reforms in the medical sector, and we are improving our medical services. So, as a result, health status of the Chinese people has continued to improve. For example, the growth indicators of teenagers show steady progress. Life expectancy is also improving. People are having higher awareness on their health. Let me share with you a good news. In 2024, life expectancy has reached 79 years old. This is 0.4 years longer than the previous year. This means that we have achieved the 14th five-year plan target of 1 year increase ahead of schedule. Such achievements are not easy compared with other countries around the world. If we have life expectancy over 75 years old, it would usually mean an annual growth of 0.2 or 0.3 years. But last year, we have reached an increase of 0.4 years. So I think this is a very good example of how far we have achieved. And in terms of this life expectancy, among all the 53 middle and high-income countries, we are ranking the 4th. And among all G20 members, we would rank the 10th among all G20 members. And even compared to high-income countries, we are over at least 21 high-income countries. I think it shows that as a result of our traditional fine culture, our healthy lifestyle, and also the implementation of the Healthy China initiative, we have indeed improved Chinese people's health. And also on life expectancy, it has increased by 1.7 years from 5 years before. This is also very good progress. Nationwide, the health status of all the 31 provinces have all been increased, and the gaps among different provinces is narrowing, which means that the equity in terms of health is also improving. We are promoting balanced development among different regions and between urban and city areas, and these efforts are also showing good results in the health sector. Take Beijing, Tianjin, Shanghai, these 3 big cities, for example, and also some provincial capitals for those provinces like Shandong, Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Guangdong, and Hainan provinces. All those cities have over 80 years of life expectancy. So we have confidence to increase life expectancy of the Chinese people in the future. However, as we see all those good results and progress, we know that people are having greater demands and expectations for greater health. Therefore, we still need to do more work in this regard. At the same time, we are also facing challenges of infectious diseases and chronic diseases. So we need to do continued efforts. I think this is why this CPC Central Committee has introduced the Health First strategy. Currently, on top of the threats to Chinese people's health are chronic diseases. And among all those diseases, they are caused by the way we work, live, eat, and exercise. For example, abnormal weight. We are now having higher living standards. We are living a better life. But this has led to unhealthy lifestyle and lack of physical exercise. As a result, some people are having overweight. And this may lead to hypertension, diabetes, and cardiovascular and cerebrovascular, high cholesterol, and even cancers. Therefore, a good management on our lifestyle is very important. Everyone should be responsible for our own health. Last year, we have been working with other departments, including the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Civil Affairs, and launched a campaign on weight management. We know weight management is not just a project for 1 or 2 years. It should be a long-term project. So for the first phase of this campaign, we will have a 3-year program. It aims to raise public awareness of weight management. It also aims to foster a supportive social environment to promote healthy lifestyles and to enable physical exercise habits. Since the launch, more people are getting on board to act together for a healthy weight. We've noticed that some workplace canteens are offering healthier food. We've also noticed that in urban renewals, we are having longer fitness trails and more facilities for physical exercise. And more people are carefully watching their weight. I believe these will contribute to the prevention and control of chronic diseases. As we know, weight management and prevention of chronic diseases needs long-term efforts. We have already invited some Olympic champions as our advocates for weight management. We've also developed some health-themed WeChat emoticons. All these efforts are aimed to invite wider participation in weight management. We will continue to advance this effort in 3 aspects. First, we will engage key stakeholders, including governments, industries, employees, and individuals, to join their efforts. The prevention and control of chronic diseases need the efforts of the whole society. We must work together to cultivate good environment across the society and within different employers. We've noticed that many families and households are having weight scales so that they can have continued monitoring on their weight. And weight scales are also placed in many of the hotel guest rooms. So even when you are traveling for business, you would be able to monitor your weight in hotel rooms. I would like to call upon more hotels to join our efforts on Weight Watch, and this will be an effort contributing to the prevention and control of chronic diseases. And second, we will do better jobs in raising public awareness. You may know that since last year, we have started regular press conferences named Solar Terms and Health. So every 2 weeks, we would be having such a press conference talking about knowledge on solar terms and health. We will continue this effort this year. And we will mobilize more health organizations to join in the campaigns to raise public awareness. And third, we will combine the efforts of prevention and treatment and offer personalized services, especially for those who are having difficulties in managing their weight. Some of them are suffering from overweight and even suffering from chronic diseases as a result, so they need the help from professionals. That's why we will guide medical institutions to set up special clinics for those suffering from overweight and obesity to provide professional counseling and treatment. I believe with the help of professionals and with the efforts of individuals, we will be better able to watch our weight.
好，请第一排第4位女士，谢谢。
谢谢主持人，各位部长好。香港紫荆杂志记者提问：今年政府工作报告提出开展大规模职业技能培训，请问在这方面有哪些举措？谢谢。
Bohemia Magazine, Hong Kong. There will be large-scale plans for upgrading vocational skills this year, which is mentioned in the report on the work of the government. What measures can we expect in this area?
It's such a coincidence that today this question followed upon me. Vocational training is an important way to help people increase their income, and it is a crucial step to address the contradictions between the shortage of skilled talents and the mismatch between supply and demand of human resources. From a worldwide perspective, every technological revolution will cause profound changes in employment. And this time, the new technology represented by artificial intelligence has a more far-reaching impact on the total amount, structure, and model of employment. Carrying out vocational skills training is not only an important way to solve structural problems, but also conducive to improving the ability of workers. So there is urgent need for us to train workers to meet the needs of changing demographic structure and to address the mismatch between supply and demand. And we have to meet the changes, address the changes of greater employment in flexible employment. And we need to foster the professional spirit of perseverance, concentration, and diligence. The government report makes it clear that we should carry out training on large scale to provide more professionals in services sector to meet the need and to enhance the treatment for the skilled personnel. For this purpose, we will focus on one initiative and 3 strengthens. The one initiative is the Skills Illuminate the Future training initiative. Starting from this year, for 3 years in a row, we will provide subsidized training for 10 million individuals annually, and we will support workers in building better careers through specialized skills. We will focus on the most in-need groups, mainly rural migrant workers, unemployed college graduates, people who lost jobs or having difficulty finding jobs, and we will focus on sectors with high employment potential and acute supply-demand imbalances. And we will also give priority to advanced manufacturing and modern services and new vocations and boost skilled workforce supply. And we will also work with other competent departments to carry out special training for elderly care services, long-term care, and continue with the digital talent cultivation campaigns. And we will integrate training with industry's leveraged role of industry leaders and ensure that skills, standards, and training programs align with industrial development, adapting wherever industries expanded. And we will integrate demand and skill, evaluation, and services. We will also integrate industry, teaching, and evaluation. The main purpose is to integrate the industries with training so that those industrial leaders will play a main role in training, so that our training will be more targeted to meet the needs of the industries. The government will improve the policies, services and management, and schools will organize students, provide professors and teaching resources. The enterprises are responsible for providing positions, criteria, and workers, so that we will have a system where all sides take part in. And the talent will better meet the need of the industrial development. We will also strengthen the building of training infrastructure. We will mobilize vocational colleges, technical institutions, corporate training institutions, and private institutions to deliver skills programs and competitively select high-performing providers through public bidding and challenge-based mechanisms. And we will also provide differentiated funding subsidies based on labor market, urgencies, and trainees' post-training outcomes. Since 2016, the central budget have supported local authorities in building 414 public training bases. And we utilize the multi-channel funds and resources to build 1,176 national skilled professions training bases and 1,475 craftsman workshops. This year, we will continue to step up our efforts in this effort. We also strengthen evaluation and incentive measures with a focus on supporting enterprises and relevant training institutions in independently conducting vocational skills level evaluations and implement the new 8-level workers system. We encourage the workers to enhance their skills and smooth the channels for upward mobility for workers, and we will step up supervision and regulation of those evaluation institutions to provide more higher quality evaluations. And we will set out policies to on those income distribution system for state-owned enterprises. And we support sectors and regions with a concentration of skilled talent to carry out collective wage negotiations. And we will also issue guidance on income distribution to reasonably determine the starting wages for talent and tilt the income distribution toward frontline production workers and urgently needed talent. We will enhance the treatment for the talent to ensure that those who work more, has greater skills, and innovate can earn more. This year, Henan province will host the 3rd National Skills Competition. Next year, Shanghai will host the 48th World Skills Competition. Such events will enable the workers to take part in skills training and practices to create an enabling environment in this whole society of respecting labor, knowledge, talent, and innovation. Let more people have a better future by improving their specialized skills and capabilities. Thank you.
请大家继续提问。
日报记者，我的问题是提给住建部倪虹部长。倪部长您好，今年的政府工作报告提出，持续用力推进房地产市场止跌回稳，社会各界对此十分关注。请问，目前房地产市场形势如何？今年在稳楼市方面有哪些考虑？谢谢。
Workers Daily. I have a question for Minister Ni Hong of the Ministry of Housing and Urban-Rural Development. The report on the work of the government stressed the need for continued efforts to stem the downturn and restore stability in the real estate market. It has drawn attention across the society. What is the current market trends in China's property sector, and what are the considerations for stabilizing the property market in 2025?
Thank you for your question. The CPC Central Committee attaches great importance to the stable and sound development of the housing market. On September 26 last year, a meeting of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee made an important plan to stabilize the property market. We have worked with relevant agencies to earnestly implement relevant requirements. We have made all-out efforts to stabilize the housing market. We have rolled out a combination of policy measures. The PBOC have reduced interest rates. The financial institutions have issued more loans, and fiscal agencies have reduced taxes. Measures to scrap restrictive policies, ease financial burdens, and intensify support continued to strengthen. Subnational regions have also adopted city-specific and targeted measures to ramp up support for meeting people's needs for their first homes and for improving their housing conditions. We have also secured a victory in the delivery of pre-sold houses. Together with the National Financial Regulation Administration, we have made good use of the real estate financing coordination mechanism and to step up financial support for whitelisted projects. The annual target for the delivery of pre-sold houses was successfully met, which effectively protected the lawful rights and interests of home buyers. With the concerted efforts of all sides, market confidence was effectively boosted. Positive signs have shown in the housing market. Data have shown that in Q4 last year, both the total floor area and revenue of newly sold commodity houses registered positive growth. Since the start of this year, the housing market maintained its stabilizing momentum. According to the government work report, we will make continued efforts to stabilize the housing market. We will work with relevant agencies to balance both short-term and long-term policies, address both symptoms and root causes, and make sure to stabilize the housing market, with special focus on the following areas. The first is to consolidate the effects of the package measures and fully unleash the effects of interest rates cuts and tax reliefs to benefit more people. We'll continue to ensure pre-sold houses are delivered to protect the lawful rights and interests of home buyers. We will step up loan insurance for whitelisted projects, include all eligible housing projects on the whitelist, and approve loans to all eligible projects as early as possible, so as to sufficiently finance the construction and delivery of houses. Second, we will step up efforts on renovation of urban villages and dilapidated housing. We will continue to expand the renovation, building on last year's progress of 1 million new homes. Through providing monetary housing compensation, residents in urban villages can have more choices and can move into their new homes at an early date. It is also conducive to selling more stock commodity houses. In developing urban villages, localities need to adapt to local conditions and decide whether to take down old buildings and build new ones, or to redevelop existing ones, or to combine the two methods. In renovating old and dilapidated houses, multiple approaches can be employed, including demolition, expansion, renovation, on-site reconstruction, and quick-proof reinforcement, so as to reduce security risks and resolve the urgent and pressing needs of the people. Third, we will advance the purchase of commodity housing inventory. According to the government work report, this year 4.4 trillion yuan will be earmarked for local government special bond. One of the usage of this bond is land reserves and the acquisition of existing commodity houses. We will give local regions greater discretion in deciding who can purchase these houses, at what price, and how they will be used. The acquired commodity houses will be primarily used as government-subsidized housing for settling residents of renovated urban villages, for talent, young people, or staff. Fourth, we will reform and improve the fundamental system for commodity housing, including its development, financing, and sale, in our efforts to build a new development model of housing sector and build safe, comfortable, green, and smart quality houses to ensure a stable and sound development of the housing market. Thank you.
请南区第3排第2位女士，谢谢。
谢谢主持人，各位部长好，我是贵州广播电视台动静新闻的记者。我的问题呢提给雷主任。雷主任您好。群众看病希望就近就便，但是呢，担心基层医疗机构水平不高，看不好病。中央经济工作会议和政府工作报告中都提出，实施医疗卫生强基工程。国家卫生健康委将如何推进这项工作，让基层医疗服务更加优质高效？谢谢。
贵州 Television. My question is for Minister Lei.The people hope to see doctors close to their homes and in a convenient way, yet some worry that the grassroots clinics are not good enough to properly treat their illnesses. It has been underscored both at the Central Economic Work Conference and in the report on the work of the government that projects will be implemented to strengthen the foundations of medical and healthcare. How will the National Health Commission approach this task to deliver more quality and efficient medical services at the community level?
Thank you for this question. Healthcare at the primary level is the focus of the CPC's health work policy in the new era. During last year's economic conference, we've also emphasized that we will carry out projects to strengthen the foundations. This has also been emphasized in this year's government work report. A few days ago, here, the director of the National Development and Reform Commission have briefed us about these projects. So from our National Health Commission, I wish to tell everyone that we have been working with other departments to carry out detailed plans about how to better implement these projects. Your question is about also the quality of service at the primary level. I think to look at this issue, at the primary level, the ability to address common diseases have been improved over recent years. We cannot compare them to specialized hospitals because at the primary level, they have different focuses and they have different abilities. In China, we have level 1, level 2, and level 3 hospitals because they each have different designated abilities. This does not reflect their ability and capabilities in carrying out medical services. I think we should all pay attention to those differences. Over recent years, we have greatly improved the ability and the quality of medical service at the primary level. We have quite a well-established medical service system in China. Currently, at the village, township, and community level, we have over 600,000 health institutions, and they are providing daily medical and health service to the general public. Over 5 million health workers are working in those primary level institutions. So I think for all of us, we hope that we can find good doctors at our doorsteps. We hope we can be treated at doorsteps when we fell into illness of common diseases. To respond to people's needs, we have been developing healthcare at the primary level. Last year, we have engaged in this project to include village clinics in the National Medical Insurance Network. Currently, over 90% of village clinics have been included in National Medical Insurance Network. And this has greatly enabled better service for the general public. And in terms of financial support, over the recent 2 years, they have allocated over 900 million yuan to provide better equipment for village and township hospitals, especially in mid and western regions. And these efforts are also registering good results. So I think we should have confidence in the future of our healthcare at the primary level. When we have more people visiting the primary level hospitals, the doctors and medical workers will be more experienced and more able to provide better services. So this is an interaction between patients and doctors, and this also needs support from the government. We will continue to implement the projects to strengthen the foundations, and with focus on 3 aspects. First, we will strengthen the basic networks. And second, we will enhance basic conditions. And third, we will improve our services. So these are the 3 major aspects of our implementation in this project. And we are rolling out detailed plans. We are now working with the National Development and Reform Commission for more detailed plans. And in the future, we will move along the 3 major aspects to enhance our overall capability to provide better medical services. In terms of better basic networks, this year we will develop tightly integrated county-level health collaboration networks to cover over 90% of counties by 2025, and by 2027, we hope this network could cover all counties in China. This network means that within a county, all the health institutions at the county level, village level, and township levels are closely connected. County-level hospitals should be the organizer and provide more support to village clinics. Now, in some places, people can have checkups in their village and then be diagnosed at county hospitals. This is based on the mutual recognition of results, and this could provide better service and save our patients from spending more time from running between hospitals. And second, in terms of enhancing conditions, we aim to provide better services, and we require all the level 3 hospitals to help level 2 hospitals and level 2 provide support to level 1, which are the primary level hospitals. In township hospitals, they need to have mid-level physicians from higher hospitals stationed for long-term services to help township-level hospitals improve their service quality. And just as the NDRC director would be mentioned a few days ago, we also need to enhance the application of technology and AI information at the primary level. This would also improve the ability and capabilities of medical services at the primary level. We will also provide support to primary level hospitals to make them better equipped to provide patients with better conditions. And third, to improve services. You may have noticed that in this year's government work report, the government has announced additional 5 yuan per person as subsidies for basic public health services, and this subsidy has now reached 99 yuan per person. We have 1.4 billion people, so this means a 7 billion additional allocation from their financial area to public health service. With this support of additional subsidies, we will be able to provide better service to the general public. I think these are some of the basic plans in our implementation of this project. As we promote our work in the future, we will have more focuses in some specific areas. I think we all hope that we can reach good results out of this project. This is also a good way, an effective way to develop our economy, to ensure our consumption, and to ensure high-quality economic and social development of China. Us in the National Health Commission will earnestly carry out our work to ensure sound implementation of this project.
请中区第2排这名外国记者，谢谢。
下午好，我是毛卢，巴西劳动者电视台记者。Question for Minister Lu Zhiyuan. According to the United Nations projections, China is among the countries that are expected to experience some population decline in the coming years, while the life expectancy continues to rise, as Minister Lei pointed out. So these demographic shifts present some significant challenges, especially in the elderly care. It's my understanding that the Chinese government and the CPC are increasingly prioritizing these issues. For instance, the CPC Central Committee has introduced some reforms to improve the elderly care services. So, Minister Lu, could you elaborate on the key measures and goals of these reforms? 谢谢。
TVT Brazil， 根据联合国预测，中国是未来将经历人口下降的国家之一，而预期寿命正如刚才一位部长介绍的，还在继续上升。 这些人口方面的变化带来重要挑战，特别是养老问题。我注意到中国党和政府越来越重视该问题，例如中共中央出台了深化养老服务改革发展的意见。请问陆部长能否介绍一下中国在深化养老服务改革方面的主要举措和目标？谢谢。
好，谢谢这位。
Thank you for your question. Indeed, it is a matter of great interest to the world, to the society, and the CPC, our party, and the State Council also attach great importance to this matter. Last December, the CPC Central Committee and the State Council released opinions on deepening the reform and development of elderly care services. Which made top-level designs for building an elderly care service system that suits our national realities and better ensuring people's access to elderly care. This year's government work report also made relevant requirements. Together with other competent authorities, the Ministry of Civil Affairs will work hard to deliver on these tasks. And I wish to take this opportunity to brief you on our measures in reform and development of elderly care services. First is to move faster to establish a three-tiered network covering both urban and rural areas. Just like there are schools for education and hospitals for health care, there needs to be institutions and facilities for elderly care. Building on existing infrastructures, we will continue to improve an integrated elderly care system platform in counties and districts, regional elderly care service centers in townships, and elderly care stations in villages and communities. This will form a three-tiered network that covers counties, townships, and villages, ensuring services are available within 15-minute walking distance, so that senior citizens can get easy access to elderly care services. Second, we coordinate home-based, community-based care and elderly care given by specialized institutions. In response to the actual needs of the elderly, we will foster a service system where home-based care is the basis. Community care plays the supporting role, and specialized institutions offer professional help with both medical and healthcare services. We'll focus on bettering policies and services that are key to the day-to-day lives of the elderly, enable communities and elderly care institutions to support home-based care. We made efforts to develop services to help the elderly with meals, medical care, bathing, and emergency, so as to bring better services to people's doorstep. Third is to optimize the system of elderly care institutions. 3 types of such institutions should be developed. One type offers basic and last resort services. The second type offers inclusive services, and the third type provides market-oriented ones. The first type is for the elderly without labor capacity, source of income, or caretaker, and those who are incapacitated and economically challenged. The second type is open to all seniors, providing affordable, quality, and cost-effective services for most senior citizens. The third type of elderly care institutions are fully market-based and have higher quality and higher price. These three types of elderly care institutions should have their respective and complementary positionings that contribute to a diverse range of options for the elderly. Fourth is to build a coordinating mechanism between government, the market, and the society. Government will play a leading role. It will strengthen planning and guidance, provide policy and organizational support for and manage and supervise the provision of elderly care. The role of the market in resource allocation will be leveraged. Support should be given to all types of market entities to participate in the provision of elderly care, so that the sector can grow in scale, form industry clusters, and develop brands, further diversifying market supply. Civil society will better participate to strengthen mutual assistance. A social supporting system should be established, led by community-level CPC party organizations and widely participated by self-governed organizations, social workers, and volunteers. In addition, we also stress the importance of other supporting factors, including facility planning, fiscal support, workforce building, old age finance, sci-tech and ICT application in elderly care. Further reforming and deep developing elderly care is fundamentally to make sure all senior citizens have access to basic elderly care, are properly cared for, and live a fulfilling and happy life in their twilight years. The civil affairs authorities will fulfill the responsibilities of the China National Committee on Aging, work closely with other competent authorities to deliver on each and every one of the Central Committee's measures on reforming elderly care. Thank you.
请大家继续提问。请北区靠后第6排第一位女士，谢谢。
谢谢主持人，部长好。我是河南广播电视台大象新闻的记者。那这个问题呢，我想提问给住建部的倪虹部长。大家呢现在都希望住上好房子。今年的政府工作报告中啊，也专门提出要推动建设好房子。那据了解呢，住建部一直在推进有关的工作。请问一下，下一步我们还会有哪些的举措？谢谢。
Henan Television. My question is for Minister Ni Hong. The people hope to live in quality homes. It has been highlighted in a report this year that the government will promote the building of quality homes. We know that the Ministry of Housing and Urban Rural Development has been pressing ahead recently in this regard. What are the upcoming actions?
Thank you for your question. Nowadays, the relationship between supply and demand in the housing market has changed. There has been a shift in people's demand for housing from a focus on availability to quality. The quality of homes has a direct bearing on people's sense of happiness. Developing residence is, at the end of the day, to meet people's needs for high-quality lives, hence the need for high-quality housing. The government work report had highlighted the need to improve the standards and regulations on building quality homes that are safe, comfortable, green, and smart, and will work in the following 3 aspects to deliver. First, we will establish standards. Standards decide how high the quality the houses can be. We've learned from our surveys several things that people care about the most in quality housing: the height, temperature, humidity, cleanliness, and the brightness of the rooms. These are all the features that people care about. Basically, people want their houses to be taller, better ventilated, brighter, more tightly sealed and soundproof, enjoying clean air and a good temperature, and also appropriate humidity, neither too dry nor too humid. We have been formulating a standard on residence projects, and one of the standards include the requirements that floor height shall not be less than 3 meters. Second, we will enhance sci-tech support. Quality homes requires new sci-tech innovations, and these two can be mutually reinforcing. For one, we will work to promote the use of useful new technologies, products, and materials to solve problems like bad soundproofing, leakages, cracks, and bad smells that people really care about in their houses. For another, we'll also actively apply whole house smart solutions. In such smart homes, lights can turn itself on and off by sensing motions. Drapes can be voice controlled. Temperature and humidity can be automatically adjusted. There will be real-time health monitoring, and your home can even remind you of a shortage of food in your fridge. It will be as if you have an intelligent housekeeper. Third, we will deliver different types of projects. There should be quality houses of different sizes and at different prices. We will organize a contest for the best designs of quality houses. Encourage designers to make creative designs of houses with different layouts and sizes according to the residents' diversified needs, to make every square meters of the houses count. We will encourage cities and companies to build quality houses and promote these houses to home buyers. Of course, quality houses not only need to meet high standards in construction, but also need good services. And here I'd like to stress 2 points. First, subnational regions should first build quality government-subsidized housing. Government-led projects and livelihood projects must take the lead in this process. Second, new homes should be of high quality for sure, and at the same time, we need to make sure that through urban renewal projects, old homes also need to be upgraded into quality homes. I'd also like to say that building quality houses provide a vast space for the application of new technologies, products, and materials. It can also unleash huge potential for domestic demands and consumption. We hope that all social sectors can support and participate in the building of quality homes. Particularly real estate and construction companies. They need to see that building quality houses is the future of industrial transformation in this sector. In the future, the companies will compete with each other for new technologies, higher quality, and better services. Those who can seize the opportunity for transformation and provide the people with quality houses and sound services will capture a larger market share and brighter future. Thank you.
请南区第一排第3位媒体记者。
谢谢主持人。新华社记者提问，我的问题想提给雷主任。当前儿科和精神卫生优质资源相对短缺， 大家看病就医尚有不便。我们关注到今年到2027年是卫健委提出的儿科和精神卫生服务年，请问有什么具体举措？谢谢。
Xinhua News Agency. My question is for Minister Lei. Owing to insufficiencies of quality pediatric and mental health resources, many people find it not always easy to access such medical services. The National Health Commission has designated 2025 to 2027 as the years for pediatric and mental health services. Could you share with us the specific moves to be taken?
Thank you for this question. This is quite a professional question, and this is also one of the focus in our efforts to improve our medical services. Pediatrics and mental health service are very closely linked to the health of the people. Now, parents pay much attention to the healthy upbringing of their children, and with the development of the society, people are also hoping to have more mental health. In developing pediatrics and mental health services, we have been making certain efforts. Currently, in terms of pediatrics, now nearly 8,000 general hospitals across China are providing pediatric services. And about 98% of county-level hospitals have pediatric departments in terms of mental health. There are about 3,000 special hospitals providing psychological and mental health services, including diagnosis and treatment. And we are also improving the ability of our services. You may have noticed that just a few days ago, during the 2 sessions, to be specific, on the 4th plenary session, actually the opening of the 2 sessions, on that same day in Beijing, in Yizhuang district, we have set up a new children's hospital, and the construction was started on that day. So after 3 or 4 years of construction, we will have a new campus for the Beijing Children's Hospital. This is one way for us to implement the national plan to provide more pediatric services. We are also paying much attention to the training of doctors in pediatrics and mental health. We have regional centers for pediatrics and national centers for mental health. These will provide quality service for the people in terms of pediatrics and mental health. But at the same time, we are also aware of the shortages and notable gaps in providing those services. Our services in pediatrics, especially when respiratory illness are most common in spring, in winter, pediatric services still fall short of meeting people's needs and demand. This is especially so in some of the big cities. In terms of psychological services, people are having growing demands. Many people are hoping to have psychological counseling and are seeking for professional help. So in terms of these 2 disciplines, we need to exert continued efforts. To be specific, we have identified the 3 following areas of focus. First is to improve the system of pediatric and mental health service. Though we have pediatric departments in 98% of county-level hospitals, but the remaining 2% will be the focus of our future work. Especially in county-level hospitals, we will do our utmost to improve pediatric services. And this year, we have identified pediatrics and mental health service as one of the 8 key focuses in providing better service this year. And the goal is that in terms of mental health, by the end of this year, each city will have at least one psychological clinic or sleep clinic. This will be able to provide help to people troubled by psychological illness or sleeping disorder. We also aim to provide more convenient mental health service to the general public. Last year, working together with industry and information, we've set up a nationwide helpline for psychological counseling, 12356. And now 7 provinces in China have connected to this nationwide hotline. The target is to make this helpline, a nationwide hotline by May the 1st this year, so that people across China could call this hotline and get timely and professional help. Also, we will carry out awareness campaigns on the prevention and treatment of mental illness, so that when people are equipped with more knowledge, they will be healthier. For this year, we plan to organize over 5,000 national and provincial level expert lectures to raise public awareness. I think in addition to our efforts at the National Health Commission, all health departments at different localities are also responsible to join these efforts to carry out more advocacy events so that every household could be better equipped with knowledge and skills on better mental health. Second, we will improve the professionalism of our workers, our workforce in pediatrics and mental health. Why now we are suffering from shortage in these 2 areas? Because currently in these 2 disciplines, the doctors are quite busy, and it's difficult for doctors in these 2 disciplines to communicate with patients of these 2 disciplines, because pediatrics, their patients are quite young, so the doctors need to talk to their parents and rely much on their experience to understand more about the illness of a young children. So it takes much time to train a proper pediatric doctor. And the earning, the salary, is not so satisfactory among different disciplines of doctors. Therefore, it affects on the development of this workforce. And similar problems do take place in terms of mental health workforce. So we also have the plan to improve the salary system of pediatrics and mental health, and also includes traditional Chinese medicine, pathology, and emergency care. All those underdeveloped disciplines in our hospitals we need to roll out more policies and measures to encourage more professionals to join these efforts by providing more salaries. And also, we need to improve our service capabilities. We have national and regional medical centers on pediatrics and mental health, but still, we need to do more efforts. This includes that we need to have more such centers. We need to provide more unified training and guidance. We will be working with the Ministry of Finance and other departments to support the development of key clinical disciplines in these two areas and support the efforts at the subnational level so that people could be able to access to better pediatric and mental health services. We need the joint efforts of different departments. For example, the Ministry of Civil Affairs, we are working closely to provide better community service on mental health. So this would be a joint effort. Let's work together for a better future of our children. Let's work together to provide more help and support to those troubled by mental illness. Our goal is to provide a better, healthier life for all of our people so that they can be more effectively engaged in life and work.
请中区第3排第1位女士，谢谢。
谢谢主持人。湖北日报记者提问，我的问题提给陆部长。陆部长您好，政府工作报告提出要加大力度保障和改善民生。请问陆部长，民政部作为重要的民生保障部门，将采取哪些重点措施兜牢民生底线，让人民群众有更多的获得感、幸福感、安全感？谢谢。
好，谢谢这位记者。
Hubei Daily. My question is for Minister Lu. This year, the report on the work of the government pledged to work harder to ensure and improve the people's well-being. As a crucial department responsible for people's livelihood and social welfare, what key measures will the Ministry of Civil Affairs take to make sure that the people have a safety net to fall back on and a stronger sense of fulfillment, happiness, and security?
好，谢谢。
Thank you for your question. This year's government work report made plans for meeting the basic needs of people in difficulty and providing care for children and for people with disabilities. The Ministry of Civil Affairs will take effective measures to implement the plans, mainly in the following aspects. On meeting basic needs of people in difficulty, we will do the following. First, we will strengthen regular assistance. While meeting basic needs of people living on subsistence allowance or extreme poverty aid, methods to identify low-income population will be rolled out. Comprehensive identification of households on the threshold of subsistence allowance and families with difficulty in rigid expenditure will be carried out, and we will improve the multi-tiered and categorized social assistance system. Second, we will align with our policy with relevant agencies following the deployment of the CPC Central Committee to prevent poverty relapse with regular assistance for low-income rural residents to ensure no large-scale poverty relapse. Third, we will set up pilots for service-oriented social assistance, improve policy measures, and explore the possibility of a supplies plus service assistance model. Fourth, we will strengthen the monitoring of low-income population, use both online big data and on-site survey to identify people with difficulty in a timely manner and make sure that their needs are met. On child welfare, the focus is to work on policy measures to protect the welfare of children in need and to improve the child welfare system that better suits our national realities. And that includes the following aspects. First, we will improve various supporting policies and ensure caring for orphans and uncared for children. Second, we will deepen reform of child welfare institutions, encourage such institutions to increase social interactions and utilize their resources to provide caretaking and rehabilitation services for children in need. Third, we will work with relevant agencies to better provide care for children who live with their migrant worker parents and left behind children in rural areas, work to make left behind children feel loved, and provide migrant worker children with equal access to basic public services in cities. On services for people with disabilities, first, we will improve and implement the allowance for people with disabilities in need and the caretaking allowance for people with severe disabilities. Second, we will study and formulate policies to provide more adequate care for and support the development of social care for people with severe disabilities, so as to reduce the burden of families with both elderly parents and children with disabilities, or with multiple members with disabilities. Third, we will develop community rehabilitation services for people with mental illnesses, as is already mentioned by Minister Lei. It is also a responsibility of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. We will continuously work to improve service quality. Basic and last resort public services concern the most immediate interests of the people and have a bearing on social justice and fairness, therefore need to be well regulated to deliver fair and impartial implementation. We will better supervise the use of various funds, including for social assistance, caring for orphans and uncared for children, allowances for people with disabilities, and make sure all funds are truly used on the people they intend to help. That's all for my answer. Thank you.
请这位多次举手的媒体记者，第一排这位女士。
谢谢主持人。北京广播电视台记者曹宁提问，我的问题想提给人力资源和社会保障部的王小平部长。王部长您好，社会保障关系人民群众的切身利益。那么我想问一下，今年在社会保障领域有哪些重点工作？谢谢。
Beijing Television. I have a question for Minister Wang Xiaoping of the Ministry of Human Resources and Social Security. As social security bears on the vital interests of the people, in this regard, may I ask what priority tasks are for this year?
Thank you for your question. Social security is like a safety net and stabilizer for the society. China's social security system is grounded in China's fundamental realities and phased development features. We have adhered to an approach of safeguarding essential needs, prioritizing critical areas, refining institutional framework, and guiding public expectations. Through deepening reform, we strive to address inadequate imbalance and uncoordinated development. This has enabled the expansion of social security from scratch, from urban to rural areas, from professionals to urban and rural residents. We now have a fully functional social security system that is the largest in the world, with distinctive Chinese features to provide a secure and reliable safety net for basic livelihoods. As of the end of 2024, the number of people covered by basic pension, unemployment, and work injury insurance program is 1.07 billion, 250 million, and 300 million respectively. Currently, with changes of democratic structures, diversified employment, and rapid development of new types of urbanization, people have higher expectations on greater quality of life. And we have taken note that during the 2 sessions, social security remains a topic of intense public interest. For example, food delivery riders wonder whether their social entitlements are safeguarded, and retirees closely follow pension adjustments. We take these concerns seriously, and in response to widespread and also in this year's government report, outlines new requirements for further improvement. So we will focus on 3 aspects. First, we will bring more people in high-level protection schemes. We will remove household registration restrictions for people in flexible employment, and so that more people in flexible employment will be incorporated in employee pension insurance system. They can also take part in those urban and rural insurance schemes. And we have allowed flexible payment schedules. They can pay 60% or 300% of their salaries, and they can pay monthly, quarterly, or annually. And the employee pension can also be paid cross regions. Going forward, we will follow the changing dynamics of employment and incorporate more flexible workers, migrant workers, and people in new forms of employment in the employee pension insurance system, so that they can enjoy higher level protection. And another one is to enlarge the pilot program for people covered by occupational injury protection. So over the past 2 years and more since the start of the pilot, over 10 million platform-based workers, including couriers, food delivery riders, ride-hailing drivers, are now enrolled in social insurance programs. And now we will expand this pilot to other provinces, enterprises, and sectors. And we are preparing to increase the pilot provinces from 7 to 17 and gradually expanded to cover the whole nation. Second, we will gradually increase the benefits, and we will raise the minimum basic old age benefits for rural and non-working urban residents by 20 yuan. This will cover 180 million elderly people. We will ensure the sound implementation. At the same time, we will make an appropriate increase in the basic pension benefits for retirees and tilt it toward middle and low-income individuals. This will cover 140 million retirees. We will make careful calculations to ensure accurate disbursement. And third, we will continue to improve the administrative services. We will refine social security transfer policies to the benefit of workers migrating between different departments and regions, so that your benefits follow you wherever you work. We will upgrade the National Social Security Digital Platform and advance the all-in-one Social Security Card initiative, broaden the scope of efficient service to provide more convenient social services to boost public confidence through our services. At the same time, we will intensify policy communication to ensure transparency and clarity in social security provisions, making policy easy to understand and remove misconceptions. Thank you. In the interest of time, this is the end of our press conference today. Thank you for coming.
Media, because of time limitations, this concludes the press conference. Thank you for attending.